Hey, all, welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank, and today I'm joined by Squeaks.
Squeaky.
And we're going to be covering a lot today, but mostly focusing on Marvel and DC. We're going to have a review for the new Donkey Kong game. And then we have an interview with Chris Maher, wonderful actor with such hustle. It's really fantastic. Chris. But let's go ahead and get into our question of the week. So, we all know David Corenswet, our new Superman, he's actually a major Star Wars fan. What would you want to see him take on if you're to join the Star Wars universe?
It's got to be a bounty hunter, baby. I mean, he's got the looks.
Mm-hmm.
He makes me all wet when I see him,
God.
All warm inside. I can see him being like the next Han Solo type bounty hunter,
Oh, so like a smuggler then. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, smuggler. There we go. Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, smuggler. I could see that, I think, for him. I don't really want to see him as like a Jedi or anything, but
I think some people would be like, oh, okay, instead of a smuggler, maybe a Mandalorian. But I think Mandalorians are getting played out. Like, I love them, don't get me wrong. We have a Mando already, so we don't need more.
Yeah.
I think a Jedi, just a classic. I would like to see just somebody we could hang the entire franchise on again as a Jedi. Like, let's have him and Rey, go forward as like our new main Jedi.
Yeah, big role for him, huh?
Well, I think he
filming.
Well, and in recent interviews, he had said Jedi. And then he came out just real quick recently because he's doing interviews with her. He's like, actually, because Nicholas Hoult, who plays Lex Luthor, is like, actually, he wants to be an X-Wing pilot. And David's like, yeah, actually, that's true. I do want to be an X-Wing pilot instead.
Yeah.
But we put the poll up over on Threads. Jedi was first place with 41%, and then X-Wing pilot with 38%. Mandalorian at 12%, and then I put the fourth one. I was like, Sith. Let's just go bad guy. 9%. Nobody wants to see him as a bad guy. He's too much of a Boy Scout, so. That ain't happening.
I'll see him as a TIE fighter pilot, Come on now.
Yeah, like a maybe like a like a surefire smart one or whatever. Not somebody that's just getting blown up right away.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get into our news. We're gonna start off by discussing this new trailer for Mortal Kombat 2 that just came out. You're the Mortal Kombat expert. Looking at this trailer, first off, what's your first impression?
All right, a big improvement.
Okay, yes.
From what we saw with the first one.
Yeah.
Which I love that we're following a character that we are well known with throughout the whole franchise. Yeah. I did not like that we had a brand new, like we were following a brand new character in the Mortal Kombat world. I did not like that at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know how others feel, but that cool young character, I don't know if it was supposed to be like, hey, I'm that. I think that was supposed to be my own character. Like I'm in that world.
You put yourself into it.
I don't like that.
Right.
I don't like that.
No, I know.
No, there's so much. There's such a big cast of Mortal Kombat characters. Let us follow one that we've experienced before. Following Johnny Cage. I'll say Luke Cage. I'm thinking of Marvel. Johnny Cage. I think is perfect because we've witnessed that before in previous Mortal Kombat games. So what I'm thinking is if we're starting with Johnny Cage, I could see multiple ones following Johnny Cage in the Sonya Blade relationship that they have, and they have a daughter. But yeah, I mean, this is sweet. Like, I think Johnny Cage, I think we had a sneak peek at the end credits or something like that from the first Mortal Kombat with Johnny Cage, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. It's been a while. Yeah, man, this is what I wanted. Just a trailer full of recognizable characters.
And to me, it definitely feels like they're stepping it up. It feels more polished than the last one. Feels like it's worthy of the theater. Like the last one was supposed to be the theaters. Pandemic made it HBO Max only. But it was like, yeah, okay, I can see this be on HBO Max. This one feels like it's supposed to be in theaters. And one of the things is for Johnny Cage, we got Karl Urban, I think is a bigger name than we've seen out of a lot of the other people on this show, on this movie. And boy, he seems like he fits it perfectly. Doesn't he give off those like Jean-Claude Van Damme vibes, wash up fighter?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the bad guy from this?
We're focusing on Shao Kahn. He's essentially a tyrant from the Outworld.
Okay.
Right. And so, but essentially what he wants to do is obviously he wants to take over all the other realms and merge them together. I mean, Shao Kahn's been following in the Mortal Kombat universe forever, right? So I can't see him being anything that's like
a one and done.
Not a one-off, right?
Yeah.
But there are three main protagonists in the Mortal Kombat world besides Shao Kahn: Shang Tsung and
antagonists, bad guys.
Yeah, bad guys.
Okay.
Yes, bad guys. And Qui-Gon? No, I'm thinking of Star Wars now. Quan Chi.
Okay.
Man, Marvel, Star Wars, and Mortal Kombat. I don't know how I'm mixing all this together.
You ready? DC's
Quan
coming.
Chi. And if I read correctly, all three of them are going to be in this movie.
That's wild.
So that's going to be crazy to me. Shang Tsung looks like, if I was looking at the portraits, I know they came out with posters of each character and like their name in front of it, whatever. It's pretty young, so that which is great because I'm sure they'll continue this Mortal Kombat series. Because that he also plays with like dark magic and stuff like that, and I don't recall if that kind of ages him or not. But I mean, I'm just excited to see with 3 antagonists in this one movie. Are we splitting off? Are we going to get Shao Kahn maybe like killed in this one and come back later? Quan Chi is essentially always messing with like souls and that dark magic type stuff. Can he risen him from the dead?
Yeah.
So I'm really interested. It seems stacked, right? Like this is, like if like Arkham, right? Arkham
it seems
Asylum,
like it's setting up a series of movies. Like we're not going to see any of these guys go away forever. And if they do go away, like if somebody dies in this one, we can see them rise up in the next movie or something like that. Again, the last movie felt so half-assed in a way that it's like, okay, it's good to see you guys are taking this thing seriously, especially in the light of a Street Fighter movie that's in the works that is casting the most stacked cast I've ever seen a movie have.
Man, that cast is ridiculous. Though I don't want to branch off Mortal Kombat. That's our main topic right now. But that cast, I just don't see it working. So I'm excited to see it because I just don't see it.
I'm excited to see it just because, just to see these people on the screen together is going to be so wild. Yeah. Now, I don't know how like deep you are in the Mortal Kombat universe. So I'm putting you on the spot right now. But is anyone that you saw that you were excited for in this that maybe you wouldn't expect? Raiden the actual like game costume was so sick. Yeah. What about you?
That is cool. Anyone new? I mean, I had a disappointment. I mean, I love to see finally Katana in this one. I don't recall the first one too much if she was in it at all or very much, but with the spinning blades and then it just being frozen still in Mortal Kombat right there when it's just like spinning right in front of Johnny Cage. Loved it. How
about this? The fact that this movie's about a freaking tournament going on. It's not some like random story that just kind of like, we'll throw this in. Mug, this is actually a tournament. You have to save Earth.
It's almost like just I don't know what Cole's still doing in this thing. Get rid of him. No, but it's almost like this is what Mortal Kombat 1 should have been.
100% agree. This actually, 100% right. Yeah. All right. So we're going to dig into, basically divide things up in Marvel and DC. We have some extra things at the end. Let's start with Marvel. What's going on right now is both James Gunn and Kevin Feige, they have big movies out, so they're doing a lot of interviews. So, man, we're soaking up all this information they're giving out. So we're starting with Marvel. We're learning about Spider-Man, and he says that Spider-Man's going to be just street-level crime fighting. This will be, quote, proper Spider-Man. I never thought about how the first 3 Spider-Man movies didn't feel like the Spider-Man I read about or the Spider-Man I played in the video games, but this one will be that.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal news. Spider-Man, again, and I've said it before, it has the greatest cast of villains, and they're all grounded to an extent. Nothing's like taking over the universe. I mean, one of the craziest ones is Sandman, and this is just on top of my head. So it's not like we have with Thanos, like just everything's being destructive. Yeah. So I love it. And the Spider-Man I want that we're going to see all these is the animated series. Yeah. You love that Spider-Man. Best Spider-Man ever. Yeah. Okay. Between that or playing the PlayStation.
There's mine right there. Game, there it is. I tell you, man. I'm a 30-year-old man walking around my house like shooting spider webs. I was so hyped on that game.
Man, I just went to a store recently and they had the Spider-Man 2, the original PlayStation, and I'm like, man, I never played number 2. I mean, I played the shit out of number 1. It's like if they had that, oh my gosh, that'd probably be worth so much money. But I mean, that's it, right? I mean, like, shoot, we got your Venoms, got your Rhinos, got your whatever. That's just popping up, but it's staying grounded in a way. Yeah, and that's what I want to see. So, like, what I mean, obviously now that's Spider-Man you want, right? It was PlayStation 1, essentially, whatever. Is there something, what do you think this movie would bring to be like, come back in my room and I just have the PlayStation controller in my hand?
Yeah, I think the key for that is feeling that Spider-Man could die. Unlike Hulk, Thor, the Avengers. They feel, immortal in a lot of ways. Even Tony Stark, because he's got a suit behind him somewhere. But Spider-Man, there are so many times where I'm like, man, come on, somebody help this kid. I feel bad for this kid, He's just Peter Parker, the high schooler or whatever, the young adult who's just trying to make it. And I want to feel that again, which I will say that Tom Holland Spider-Man has done it in the past, but I want to feel it here. And when he's fighting against his Sinister Six, when he's got like overwhelming bad guys kind of teaming up, that's when it really happens. And so I really hope we get that again. And we have John Bernthal returning as Punisher for this movie. And so I'm like,
fucking sick daddy.
We're going to definitely get a situation where Punisher's like wanted to just pop off some random bad guy. And he's like, no, we have to do things the right way. But at a certain point, will he be tested and want to just go the Punisher route and kill somebody? I don't know.
You think they would try to sync that to like a Brock symbiote type thing? Like kind of turns bad, maybe?
What would make Spider-Man do that? The black suit.
Right.
Yeah, which we're getting Secret Wars coming up. Black suit Spider-Man. Yeah.
You know, I would love a revamp of obviously the villains that we've had. Because I want old school Eddie Brock. I love Venom. I'm not a Tom Hardy fan when it comes to Venom.
Okay.
I want just that beefy meathead Eddie, right? You know, Eddie. Just like lifting weights and shit and just challenging Spider-Man and getting into him, not just like in the fights of like superheroes, but he always used to on, I don't know, how do you say it? The civilian side, right? I'm thinking of like superhero outfit, but like him interacting with his aunt or Mary Jane, like getting in his head in a different way where he like, oh, I can't expose that I'm Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
And doing that. So I think obviously the revamp of the villains is something that I'm gonna be looking forward to. I mean, you gotta do these villains justice, man. This is Hall of Fame villains.
I have a feeling the villain that we might be getting, the one I want to see the most, is Mr. Negative, because I think he's the least explored and could really open up anti-Venom. Like he has so much of the Venom tie in there. And I just think he's like outright a good villain to kind of like be difficult enough for Spider-Man to have to just solo. Like I think the other ones, I don't know. We've seen him beat up Rhino too many times for it to be a problem, but Mr. Negative's hard for him to beat. I think that'd be a good one, you know?
Yeah.
Moving on, we have Avengers Secret War. He has confirmed. Okay, so that's coming out in 2027. He says that after that, they are going to do a reset for the MCU. So they have plans out until 2032. And after this reset, there's a couple things going to be going on. They're going to be shifting to fewer movies and far less Disney Plus shows. He says that he admits they were doing quality over quantity, and that a lot of the problems with like Thunderbolts, he thought Thunderbolts is like he said Thunderbolts is such a good movie. A lot of people didn't see it because the characters were from Disney Plus shows. He says that was stupid of us. We should have introduced a lot of those characters in movies. So they're going to be bringing down the budgets, making them feel more grounded, like a Deadpool, like a Thunderbolts, and less movies, more quality. And they're going to be actually recasting some of the major characters like Iron Man and Captain America. And like he said specifically, they're going to keep what works and release what doesn't.
I think it's a great idea, right? The quality over the quantity. You're saturating the universe. People are fatigued, and the superhero fatigue is real. I've experienced it myself. I just don't care what's being released on Disney Plus. There's multiple series that I just don't care to watch. Time is limited, and I don't have time just to watch garbage. Or, you know, maybe if it's not up to par, you know, if the reviews aren't there, then I just don't have the time to even pay attention to it. Yeah. What I don't like though is how much of the comparison we're gonna have. Marvel. You peaked, man. You peaked. Okay. You put out the greatest superheroes that you already had, and they're lasting for how much they're beloved, right?
Yeah.
When I saw that they're gonna recast essentially the Captain America and Iron Man, essentially tells me you don't know what to do anymore. That's how I'm taking it. I'm staying on this side for argument purposes. Okay. You don't know where to go anymore. Okay.
For argument purposes, I'm going to try to counter you, but go ahead, keep going, build your argument up.
Yeah. Because essentially, like, it just tells me that you ran out. Again, you don't know where you're going. The heroes that you have, they're not going to pull anything. Yeah. Your new Avengers, there's no one exciting there that is going to pull anything because they're all just secondhand characters. So what are we going to do? We're going to give you Captain America and Iron Man again. Yeah. And it's like, man, the comparison are going to be there. Maybe you can get a Captain America. Maybe you can. No problem. Another actor. But man, not seeing Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is going to hurt a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Okay.
What's your counter?
I'm writing down dates as you're talking. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
First Iron Man came out 2008. It's sad that I know all these dates. Came out 2008. Man. Yeah. So when this reset happens, he says 2032. So it'll be about almost 20 years, right? Essentially, the distance between Iron Man coming out and when they're going to do the reset is the distance between Star Wars and Phantom Menace. It's going to feel like an entire new generation. That movie is not going to feel like you're replacing Iron Man. It feels like we're going to get a new Iron Man. You and I both, as comic book readers, see this all the time. Hickman's got to run. Oh, I love Hickman's Fantastic Four. He's done. Now I'm going to read Ryan North's run. It doesn't mean that Hickman's run doesn't exist. It's just that now there's a new voice doing it. And so we get a new take on the characters. I think it's important going forward that a lot of us who talk about these movies a lot, especially in production, see it as we're not replacing Iron Man, because there's going to be so many people who are going to hate on it for the sake of clicks and stuff. But if you see it like, hey, it's a new artist, it's a new director, it's a new take on Iron Man, we might see something we like, maybe a more grounded Iron Man, or maybe a superior, closer to something like superior Iron Man. So it doesn't feel right to us because we're so indoctrinated into these movies, like they just keep coming. But the time difference will be that of a normal reboot cycle.
Yeah, but you brought up Star Wars, but nobody's being replaced in Star Wars. Okay, they're just being that. The story is continuing. So
that's fair.
Besides that, though,
it's not like Phantom Menace had a new Han Solo and a new Luke Skywalker.
Exactly,
that's fair.
Exactly. Fair. And when they did it, they did like the young, Han Solo. Yeah, it's almost like it's hard to see the movies as comics, because you're right. I could pick up a different series of a comic and like one of my favorite ones, and I keep saying it too. Oh, Captain America dies and Bucky becomes the next Captain America. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, no problem. But somewhere that exists, and it's not thinking like Steve Rogers is still my Captain America.
Yeah, of course.
That's easy. I think it might be hard. I mean, I feel like there's still little kids out there wearing, seeing Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and like that like marking or whatever the I don't know what you would call it, whatever. It's lasted so long. So it's hard to just, wrap my head around something that you're just going to have to recreate because it feels like you don't know what you're doing anymore.
And that's Marvel's fault, frankly, for not letting the movie stop. They're continuous. So Iron Man is still being echoed even in Ironheart that just came out. So a movie that came out in 2008 is still being referenced this year in 2025. And there was no movie in between. I mean, there was the Ewok bullshit, but like nobody really watched a movie that was Star Wars focused in 1995.
Echo.
They just kept re-releasing their first movies. And so on VHS with all the collector's editions and stuff. So totally fair. And I bought a little.
Yeah.
Totally fair. But I think it's just, I really feel like we do have to start looking at comic books. And I think DC is the one that's really doing a really good job with that, with the Superman, the way that James Gunn talks about DC. It feels like it's going to be comic book oriented. And I think Marvel needs to embrace that and start going with that too. Because like I said, I love certain Batman iterations. Grant Morrison Batman, I'll read it all day. Frank Miller Batman, read it all day. But there are some that I don't care for. The Batman Who Laughs stuff. I don't remember who wrote that. I wasn't a big fan of it. And so you just skip it, or you just don't give it as much credence as you do other things. I think we're gonna have to do that with the MCU as well.
Are we gonna be lazy and just not lazy? I'm sorry, but just do the animated thing? Because I don't think it's gonna go as well if you have a live action. Immortal. Let's just say Immortal Hulk because you threw it out there. I really enjoy Immortal Hulk, but I mean, if you have the live action version of it instead of animated version, I'm gonna be well more invested and like really excited to see that movie.
It's tricky, right? Because I think the animated stuff is very good. But it will not pull the numbers that a live action will. That's just obvious.
Exactly.
And I think the way Kevin Feige and even Bob Iger at Disney are looking at Marvel now, it's about doing what works. I mean, that's like I called it so long ago when Bob Iger came back. We're getting a new Iron Man and a new Captain America in no time. Here's the announcement. And so I think that we will get things that make more money. If it makes more money to do live action, we'll get a live action. And I think it just does.
As long as the story's there, right? Because we saw with Daredevil, with the latest season, not a lot of Daredevil action going on, but I was really locked into the story the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
and because he let the villain breathe in that too. Like that's another thing when you can lower down the budget. We don't need to see Thanos slamming things. Maybe we could see Thanos explaining his policy a little bit more, which I think was actually quite good. Like we actually start to really fear Thanos.
So against it.
Which Thanos isn't the right. Which, by the way, that was another thing he said. Which I'm like, okay, sure thing. He said that they already planned on replacing Kang before the Jonathan Majors stuff came out because they were this is what he says. They were realizing Kang's not Thanos. Nobody was grabbing on to Kang like they were Thanos, so they needed to quickly get a big name fast. I don't know if I totally 100% believe that.
I don't believe that. I think no, you're so bullshit. It's not that at all. The reason, but I mean, they're not wrong though. I mean, I don't see Kang as taking over Thanos level.
No,
movie. I don't see that.
Frankly, the only thing I care about with Kang is like introduce Iron Lad. I think Iron Lad's a very cool character. Bring him in now. And the idea of an Iron Man, like person who's a Reed Richards descendant and will eventually become evil like Kang. Like that's just such a cool story to tell. Do it. So hopefully they do eventually bring an Iron Lad. Last thing with the Marvel is Jake Schreier is confirmed to be directing the new MCU X-Men reboot. That's the director who just did Thunderbolts. The new series, or the new movie franchise, will be focused on a younger demographic. He wants to avoid telling Fox era storylines. Fox told a lot of really good storylines, though.
Yeah, a lot of storylines that put me to sleep. This needs to happen. Okay. No, the X-Men like universe now is so like just convoluted now.
Yeah.
It needs to just like, hey, just drop everything, start fresh. We're talking like a younger roles, right? I think for this one.
Younger cast and younger demographic, as in they're aiming for younger kids as well. So not younger kids, but like more. They don't need to play the '90s theme song every time X-Men's on screen. Basically, no,
they should though.
They gave us X-Men '97.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough though, right? Because how do you get behind? I'm just gonna put a picture out there, like a fucking 13-year-old Cyclops X-Men to me. Like,
no, I don't think that'll be the case. But a 22 to 25-year-old Cyclops, instead of like us, we currently have one that we're excited to see that's like 50s. So, you know what I'm saying? Which is like, all right, that's fair. As a kid, I would see that as an old man. So it's good to have a younger version, I guess. Like X-23, I think, is kind of the right age, right? To be this new level of X-Men. Yeah,
because I mean, I can even see like what was that horror type X-Men?
New Mutants.
That kind of came. New Mutants, yeah. I can see those type of characters being at the younger age. It's just really tough for me to kind of get like a Jean Grey and a Wolverine and I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the villains going to be looking like now? Are these going to be like adultish? Are they going to be younger too? We're going to have like a 20-year-old Juggernaut?
No. I would say that it actually plays better to have older villains because then you have that rebelling against the status quo in a way. So like, first off, I think the first villain you bring out is Sinister. Like it's been too damn long since we've had Sinister.
Okay.
He is too sick. Bring Sinister. Yeah. And I'm saying, hey, Henry Cavill, what are you up to, buddy? You know,
Henry Cavill.
Hell, yes. And then if we bring in, I'm saying like, okay, maybe 30s, like younger 30s level X-Men against Henry Cavill. Oh shit, I'm watching that as Sinister. Oh my god, yeah, that's a good idea.
You got to do it like one of those AI generated Henry Cavill Sinisters because I'm just not seeing it. I guess
I'll send you one. Nudes or not nudes? Let me open my save folder. Hold on. That's gonna be the skin for Marvel Rivals in no time.
Oh man, Sinister and Marvel Rivals. Now you got me thinking about that.
That would be sick. Oh my god.
So that'd be cool to do something that's not Magneto.
Yes.
But are we going to get Magneto to like? Wonder if we get Magneto in a time frame where he's working with Charles.
Exactly. What if Magneto and Charles are still on the same side?
Yes.
And then we start to see that strain, like they work. Like that's too far. I don't know. Magnus versus get those conversations going.
Yeah, and then being Sinister being the main villain. I would like that, and then you kind of branch out, okay, now we got our Magneto.
Yeah, and we could do Goblin Queen if we have.
They fully separate.
If we have Sinister, we could do Goblin Queen storyline too with the Jean Grey clone and Cable coming in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do with the X-Men characters. There's so many of them, and I'm kind of I mean, we'll see if this younger cast works. I mean, yeah.
I hope it works well. All right, you ready for some DC stuff? Let's go into DC with James Gunn.
All right.
Here we go. So, DC strategy post-Superman. James Gunn and Peter Safran, long-term, it's going to involve a lot of spin-offs. So, they see what works out of, specifically the Superman movie. They want to make a spin-off for, these are examples, not necessarily happening for sure, Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen. They want to do 2 live-action movies a year and 1 animated project per year. I think that's about the right amount of movies I'd want. I don't want more than that.
Yeah, I mean, if you space them out, and it won't feel so. Oh, it's been like 2 years or something. Like, get one at the beginning of the year, get one at the end of the year, or however you want to do it. Because then the end of the year kind of runs into the beginning of the year,
beginning of summer, end of summer,
whatever.
I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Like a May and August. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that'll be perfect. Yeah.
Mr. Terrific and Jimmy Olsen. What I liked about that is Mr. Terrific, I could see a higher budget movie for that. That's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. But a Jimmy Olsen one could be like a little spy movie or whatever about this guy that just kind of sleeps with all the chicks in town. Yeah.
So
Jimmy Olsen fucks. Confusing. There's no doubt about that. We can't say, I love that my little Righteous Gemstone guy is like playing out there now.
Yeah. He's so unholy now. Like he plays in Righteous Gemstones. Oh, man. This is the Jimmy Olsen of Righteous Gemstones we got before he kind of went back to the family, right? When he was doing his acting and stunt devil stuff. I think the example, Mr. Terrific, right, would be really neat for the fact that they're expanding these characters we thought we would never even seen. So that's pretty awesome. The Jimmy Olsen thing, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess he kind of just be like what you said, it's perfect the spy thing, but with his connections and how hilarious would it be? Like he just always has some female like somewhere that can get him like the hook of the story or whatever. I think it would call, and then it'd be hilarious that one time he doesn't have, he's like, holy shit, now you basically got to get with a female for this,
what if he's on assignment, whatever, like in Turkey or whatever, like he's in the middle of Istanbul and suddenly he's like, you got to find your way back. He's like, well, Suzanne lives next door. And then he has to find his way out back to New York.
He's like giving these clues like, man, I feel like I've been here before or something. I just don't know. Oh, shoot. That would be hilarious. But what do you think about the animated projects? Like we got Creature Commando, which is definitely out there. I wasn't expecting anything like that. Are we going to experience more of, like I don't want to say like a Mr. Terrific where he's just not well known and then kind of introduce him and then maybe you can make something out of it,
100%. That's where you really do a lot of experimenting. How does Swamp Thing work on screen? Stuff like that. A lot of the darker magic side of DC, try them out. See if it works. If people embrace them or if you see like, oh, there's a story here, lean in on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's great, but I don't know if we'll get that same feel as like what we're going to get a live action Clayface to an animated Clayface.
Yeah.
We are getting that Swamp Thing, 2027 or something like that?
It's currently like the script is not in yet, but it's being worked on.
Oh man, I'm pretty stoked about that.
And James Gunn said like the key with superhero fatigue is that the movies can't feel the same repetitive, like, oh, it's the formula like we see with Marvel. Like, Kevin Feige was not happy that James Gunn said that, but that's what it is. But he said like it could be in this universe and just be different movies. So this Clayface movie is a horror movie. It'll just be that it's the same universe that Batman exists in.
And that's what I'm excited about seeing this Batman Brave and the Bold, that how James Gunn saying not Superman it's going to be. So, and you know what? And I think that's what made the Joker 1 so near perfect. But I haven't really thought about anything that I want to see animated wise, unless you kind of explore going to the Hall of Fame supervillains is like the Batman villains. Like I would love to see even something so crazy as what's his face, Firefly, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Just something out there like that to introduce it. And hey, maybe you might start off the next movie as Batman capturing Firefly super fast, right?
Yeah.
Like first 10, 15 minutes to really like, set the tone, right?
Right.
Just make him be one of like a waste off villain. But it's kind of neat we'd get excited to see him because we just watched the animated season of him.
Yeah.
And kind of like his background. But like shit, that's what I want to see. Is there something animated that you would love to see that you think will work?
Zatanna. I think Zatanna could be animated.
Oh, okay.
Really try it out and see how that works. And then like if you can get magic. I bet
you would like to see a Zatanna.
Yeah. Anime Zatanna. I think it's a great idea.
I got a specific look.
Yes.
Is she 12 of the Jim Lee version?
No, she's not. Let me clarify. Let me just say that real fast. No. But I think, magic characters are really good to test in animation because they do take a lot of CGI if you make live action. So if you see like, you know what, we have a lot of story to tell with this character, then you invest that time. But you try it out in animation first.
Yeah, heck yeah.
All right, next up, we see that, Millie Alcock's Supergirl's planned for June 2026. I am reading that Supergirl comic that this is based off of. Holy cow, it's so good, dude. Did you read that?
Love it. No, I need to start now, though.
Oh, you do. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. It is so much.
Really?
Yes. So different than I expected. When we were introduced to Supergirl at the end of Superman and she's like drunk and partying, I'm like, oh, that's weird and unique. I'm telling you right now that Supergirl's comic starts that way. It's a 21st birthday.
Plays well.
What's that?
It plays well throughout the comic.
It's
personality.
It's the beginning. Like it's fantastic, dude.
Yeah.
Like you start off with her like in a tavern on a random planet. This girl is like looking for someone to help her hunt down the guy who killed her dad. And like Supergirl's just in a bar, just getting drunk with crypto. And like roughs up this guy who just took money or the sword off of this girl, Ruthie. And it just unfolds perfectly. One of my favorite parts pretty early on in the comic books is like the two of them are on like a space bus, like Greyhound bus. like traveling to get to where this guy must have taken her ship. And it's just like random aliens. I'm like, this is some Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Wars shit, man. I am so ready for this. Yeah, it looks good, man.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to read it.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, that's awesome to hear because hopefully we get back-to-back DC movies that are like just scoring very well. I mean, what a time to be alive to see this revamp. Loving it.
It's good. Yeah, Millie Alcock's gonna kill it. Okay. So we have a new director for Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman movie. They're fast tracking this movie. Ana Nogueira, who's also the one that did the Supergirl movie that's coming up, and she's working on Teen Titans. Man, they got to really trust this Ana.
Yeah, I totally agree with that statement. To give you, I mean, one, you're essentially a massive part of this revamp to DC, and you're hitting some heavy hitter movies.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be something you did that we don't know about that James Gunn knows that he's trusting you with this because that's fucking wild. I mean, I know you're doing like the Supergirl, but Wonder Woman now, that's a Justice League staple.
But how excited does that make you for Supergirl and Teen Titan? Like they have to see those and say, go watch. Like if they're gonna give her Wonder Woman, that must tell you how good Supergirl and Teen Titan must be.
Yeah, I mean a lot of faith because Benny Jenkins just sabotaged her shit with Wonder Woman too.
Yeah, I'm
sorry, I'm cussing a lot.
That's okay. It's okay. I always know there's an edit for each of you guys. The Squeaks edit is always just like, okay, if he passes 15 I have to start taking them all out. And so we're past that now. I'm gonna have to, and then I start going because I don't have to take mine out. It's a whole thing.
It's a late night show.
So what do you want to see out of this Wonder Woman? Personally, I love Dark Knight of Steel. I love Kingdom Come, where she's like a god of war. She wants to go to war pretty quickly. That's how she sees success. And she's really about the royal lineage of Themyscira, stuff like that. So I want to see that version because I think that version in parallel to like Superman's hope and Batman's pragmatism, who's always like, this is logical. This is what we should do to save people. I think that works well with the trio. So I want her to be kind of like a little bit aggressive, and mean.
100%. I saw your TikTok.
Oh yeah.
TikTok, you call it. And 100% agree. Something that's not just like, hey, let me talk, with reason and stuff for us. Fuck that.
Not Wonder Woman.
Screw that. Yeah. If you know that's wrong, or if you know it's wrong, go at it.
Yeah.
I want kind of like the hard-headed Diana.
Yes.
Something where it's hard to kind of talk her out of something. Like she's doing the right thing, and Batman might be like whatever about it, but she's still tough. Like I don't want to say like it, but not in a like a brain dead type way. No. Like I'm gonna just go out and get it because of this. Not like rude or anything, but knows that it's the right thing to do, and just not you say standing around. I guess you could say.
Right. Right.
That's going to take a little bit to calm her down.
Yeah. I think not like seeing Superman, how he fought the kaiju in this new movie, I thought was like, that's so telling for the Superman, where he was like catching it before it hit the building, making sure it doesn't stop on a dog or something like that. Like that's so this Superman. And you can see how Batman might attack this thing. Like, well, let's get it out to the forest or whatever. Let's get it out of the city and let's attack it there. Wonder Woman, you're like, I'm going to go inside it and just slice its guts up and make it collapse on itself. That's how you want them to each play. Like they would all probably try to protect Metropolis, but how would they do it? And she would just be like, I'll kill it before it has a chance to make a step, and that's dope, especially with the absolute Wonder Woman. I think is getting another spark of excitement for Wonder Woman, how she like was raised in hell in that run. So I think there's something there that people really need to grasp onto while we have that heat.
Yeah. So you think we're to fast track Wonder Woman, the story, like we kind of did with Superman? Like we get it already. We already had this a bunch. So they're doing the Mascara series?
Paradise Lost. Right? Yeah. Themyscira.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, can we just do the same thing that we did with Superman? Like, bam, Wonder Woman's here.
They won't be tied together. There might be like a little bit of a cameo of Wonder Woman inside of Themyscira for Paradise Lost, but they're different. The Paradise Lost story is just a Game of Thrones set in DC. That's all that is.
Okay, that's pretty hot. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that the background story is not really, a factor in this,
I doubt we'll get an origin story for her because her origin story dates back beyond the 300 years that we were told for Superman, which
I just don't want to see her like do the training and stuff like that. Like,
I don't want that bullshit either. I want it in.
Okay.
Just like with Batman, I don't want to see Batman's parents shot in an alley. I want to see Batman having to, grieve the loss of Jason Todd or, oh shit, Jason Todd's back. Like, I want to see him at that stage of Batman already. Like, I want him to be like I was just told that Ra's al Ghul's been raising my son, and so here's Damian Wayne. Like, I want us at that level of Batman now.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Yeah. 100% agree.
He explains that for Henry Cavill that him and Peter actually sat down with him and talked to him about it. Quote, "We sat down with Henry. He was an absolute gentleman. They did because what happened was they shot him at the end of Black Adam to be in the movie. He posted like on Instagram, like, hey guys, I'm back. And then while that was all happening, behind the scenes, DC was telling him like, here's the script, right? Or start writing a script for Superman without a Henry Cavill. And so he's like, what's going on with this? And then he got the job. And so he's like, and they were basically saying, call him up and tell him he doesn't have the job anymore. He's like, no. So he and Peter sat him down and actually talked to him face to face about the whole breaking up thing. Which, by the way, if you guys want to see people just completely dunk on me, go to Threads and where I posted about this, people are like, Henry Cavill's the only real Superman, and that times 100.
Yeah. Yes, people, man, drive me crazy. I mean, that's neat. I think maybe there's a possibility. I think James Gunn said it's come back as a different character.
Yeah, he says he's actually wanting that. Yeah. He'd be happy to have him back as another character.
Yeah.
Who should he come back as?
I knew you were going to say that, man.
I'll go right away with mine. I know mine has been mine for a while. I want him back as Batman.
Okay, that's pretty massive.
It's pretty bold. Right age really for it.
Okay,
Doesn't he feel like he's a little bit senior to the Superman as well? Like he would be like, hey kid, I've been saving lives before you were outside of Smallville.
That'd be a little funny because he kind of was, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, that'd be, I don't know how I would take that one, actually. You know what? Actually, I want to see him as, this is going to be stupid and kind of a cop out because he was supposed to fight Black Adam, but I actually want to see him as Black Adam. I think he fits it. I think he fits the comic book one. You know, he got the slick black hair.
So?
You know,
okay, I see that. Yeah,
hella sexy. Yeah. You know, like as comic book accurate, I think he obviously he looks more of the part than Dwayne Johnson. Fair. And you know, he kind of he would still kind of be tailored to like the really powerful flying around stuff. So he's like, okay, I'm experienced there. So I don't think it would be too much of a shift for him, except just being the bad guy instead now.
What if somebody like real deep? What about like Jonah Hex, a cowboy, half dead? You know. It's just something completely different.
Deeper than that. Man, that'd be pretty wild. I wouldn't know. But I think that's what you would have to do with Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like a more of a nod to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of like I don't want to say Easter egg, but, you know, instead of having him really big in the DCU.
There has to be an Easter egg somewhere of him being Superman. Like there has to be a little nod or whatever where he's just like, I don't like letters on my shirts or some random shit like that. But, you know, something like that. We're like, you Superman. You know, we have to have that.
mean, it's almost perfect as like when Henry Cavill was Wolverine in one universe.
Yes.
Deadpool versus Wolverine. Deadpool Wolverine. And that was great. So, I mean, I think that'd be hilarious too if he just picked, I don't know, something funny. Yeah.
Action packed, man. It's a lot of stuff coming out of Marvel and DC this week. Let's shift into our reviews because I really want to hear about this new one out of Donkey Kong. Squeaks, you've been playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. I got 10 questions for you. All right, we're going to go over these 10 questions, and then we're going to be building the score as we go to figure out what you want out of 10. 10 bananas.
Okay,
all right, we're going bananas this time.
10 bananas.
There we go. So what was your first reaction when you booted up Donkey Kong Bonanza?
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
And the reason why I say that is like, okay, so you get your cutscenes and whatnot, and I'm going to answer these pretty quickly too.
Good.
It honestly feels like I'm watching an animated movie that Disney or DreamWorks did.
Wow.
It is so smooth when you're watching these cutscenes that it doesn't even feel like a video game. Man, like, yeah, that's what I'll go through there.
Okay.
So initial reaction was, man, this is Switch 2. Like, now I feel like I'm playing a Switch 2.
Finally. Yeah. So do you think this feels more Switch 2 than the Mario Kart?
100%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this feels like when you played Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
And it was like next level Mario. This is next level Donkey Kong.
Wow.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Which power-up or item was your favorite from the game?
So the only items really there are essentially kind of like currencies. So power-ups, one that kind of surprised me. You turn into an elephant. So I don't know if you're aware about this Donkey Kong, but you turn to like, have you seen like the gray Donkey Kong where he's like really buffer and bigger?
I see that, yeah.
There's maybe like 5 of them, different animals that you turn into. And the elephant one I really like because you kind of like suck up all the like environment around you. You kind of shoot that specific environment like in a ball back out. I really like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go on to the next one then because this is actually going to fall for that. Do you feel like the new mechanics add to the experience or feel like a gimmick? Specifically, I want to know about the ability to like take the ground, which seems like a pretty big part of the game.
Oh, you mean like kind of like pull it and use it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's too much of a gimmick. I think it just added really to it. If I were to say anything gimmick, they did not do anything that was too much Joy-Con related, like whatever. The only thing that is when you pick up something from the ground and you want to aim, you can use like motion, while aiming kind of thing. And what they did with it too is you can use that material and kind of like ride on it like a surfboard.
Oh, that's cool.
So I will say to that question, nothing feels like a gimmick at all. I feel like it's just next level, thoughts.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So
ideas.
It really did feel like, because with the Switch 2, there tends to be a situation, especially with like a flagship game like this, there tends to be this thing where they're like, well, because the Switch can use like mouse controls, we have to make sure this thing has mouse controls somewhere in the game.
Yep.
None of that going on?
Yep. Nothing like that. No. Nope.
Perfect. Okay. That's
beautiful.
Encouraging.
I know.
A lot of beautiful design in this game. What was a standout world to you?
I got one for you.
Yeah.
When you enter a world, it almost teases you. Let me explain. You enter a world and guess who shows there? Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong, baby.
Oh, wow.
Dixie and Diddy Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was neat. And then they're basically like, oh, our world is all about racing.
Oh, man.
Dude, pants are down. Pants are down. Are we doing this right now? Are we going to Diddy Kong Racing right now? Okay.
If they release a new Diddy Kong Racing, Switch 2. It's so fast.
But you don't. You race rhinos instead. And just in a round circle wrap.
Which is so Donkey Kong.
But I was
country.
ready for it. I was ready to finish, baby. But yeah, so
God.
But other than that world was cool. Just nostalgia, like seeing Diddy Kong just talking to Donkey Kong and Dixie there. And yeah. Like Pauline is on your back, like, oh, do you know Donkey Kong? And Diddy's like, oh, hell yeah, like we've done a bunch of adventures together. We saved the world plenty of times. And Dixie's like, yeah, I showed up a couple times too. I'm like, oh man, yeah, you all did.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, those two for sure.
Does the soundtrack, does it capture you like the old games did? Because like I can remember all those old Donkey Kong and even Diddy Kong soundtracks. Does it capture that?
It's got like one or two like Bonanza bangers.
Okay.
That's what I call them. But no, nothing like that can still play like the classic Super Nintendo for me. Yeah.
It's hard because as kids, like it's not like we had the option to play other games real fast. So we played those levels a lot. So that song got stuck in your like, I mean, I don't know how to play piano, but I'm pretty sure I can nail the Pokemon theme songs. Like especially like entering into battle in the grass, whatever. Yeah. I definitely know that stuff.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Did any of the game frustrate you, or was it mostly smooth sailing?
Mostly smooth sailing. A little too smooth at times.
Oh, okay, that's good.
But I finally ran into some frustrations towards the end, which I was tossing stuffed animals just on the floor, getting pissed, right? And that was like a lot of the platform type, forcing you to use like platforming mechanics, and that got a little tougher. But mostly smooth sailing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad. How did this feel compared to the last few Donkey Kong games? Because it's been a while since we had a standalone Donkey Kong game, I feel like.
Yeah. Massive evolution. It's like Resident Evil 4 with Donkey Kong.
Holy cow.
Like a Resident Evil turn, from old school to now 4. It's like that, man. And I don't know, it's to the point where it's almost like Zelda Breath of the Wild, where can you go back playing an older Zelda type kind of feel? Like it's all. Now it almost seems like Zelda is always just this open world thing now. Like that's, like caves and whatever.
Yes.
But that's what this Donkey Kong feels like it brings. And it's going to be pretty darn hard unless you do some like revamp graphics and make it look really, I don't know, like special, like an older like Mario World or something like that. I don't know. Like the side scrolling thing almost seems like it's never going to happen again with this one.
So do you feel like this is encroaching on Mario's corner of Nintendo, and are they separate enough?
And that's where I'm going to say separate enough, because this one is honestly, if you added Odyssey and Zelda and you threw in like I'm going to say the Edward Norton Hulk video game where you're just smashing everything, that's kind of like what this combination is.
Okay.
And that's why it kind of like really brings it different, because the exploration in this game is just buck wild.
Yeah.
You go it's just too much. But you really can just almost destroy everything.
Oh wow!
And I was like, you know what? This does feel like I'm a Hulk right now.
That's cool, man.
So and Odyssey, you can't do that. So,
no. Yeah, Yeah, you are a little bit more on rails. It's not as visible, but
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think this game nailed the Donkey Kong spirit or tried something too new?
Oh man, that's a good question. It might. Okay, so you know what? I won't say. The spirit's there.
Okay.
There's a lot of secret levels in there that kind of tailors to old school Donkey Kong,
Okay,
right?
that's
So the goal of this, you're finding tons of bananas to kind of level yourself up, and with trying to find those bananas, there's secret levels, right, that you can unlock, or you dig a hole, and next thing you know, there's a platform I'm gonna go into it, whatever, right? And that's what kind of goes. I was playing one recently where it's a lot of the barrels, side scrolling, and a lot of the barrels shooting, waiting for the right timing to shoot to the next barrel.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah, like that. So it brings that spirit, but it definitely is extremely new.
Okay.
To where if that wasn't in it, then this
wouldn't be a Donkey Kong game. Sounds like.
No, yeah, really, yeah.
Okay, that might be something.
But you got your cart writing, your mine carts writing.
Yeah.
Like there's still elements in there for sure.
Okay. All right, well, let's go. How many bananas are we talking out of 10 bananas?
Yeah, so my one fault is that other than that, the game's pretty phenomenal.
Okay.
And it's almost like we had 3 heavy hitters so far this year of video games, and it's getting there to number 1, I think.
That's
so this is honestly 9 out of 10 bananas.
9 out of 10. Any higher than that, or is it staying at a 9?
It's staying solid 9. I think if the like old school like Mario type boss fights had like that rotation, that feels still that whole like I gotta wait until Bowser gets dizzy or whatever the hell to grab his tail and kind of toss him around.
Yeah.
If that was kind of there throughout the whole time, it'd be easy 10 out of 10. But that's my one downfall with it. Yeah,
that's still impressive. I mean, that definitely makes me want to play the game. So that is pretty. Yeah. That's pretty cool. All right, guys, Donkey Kong Bonanza. You heard it here. 9 out of 10.
Wonderful.
Let's shift into our interview with Chris Maher. Today, we've got a great actor on board with Chris Maher. We're going to be talking about Blowback, Mojave Diamonds, No Dogs and Nova. He's got a packed slate, a killer backstory, and honestly, might be one of the busiest guys in indie films right now. How are you doing, Chris?
I am so good. Thank you so much for asking. How are you doing, Frank?
I am doing good. I'm doing good. AC's working well, so we can't complain.
Mine too. I can hear it going. It is a sweaty day.
Oh yeah. So let's start off with your early days. Let's go ahead and get started with those early days back in Omaha, Council Bluff. You started acting pretty young, right?
I got started acting on stage when I was in about junior high, but I didn't get started professionally acting until about 10 years ago or so.
Yeah. In junior high, did you feel like there was like something there, like this might be something for me, or were you just kind of just checking some boxes?
It was a thing. One of my best friends was in it, and at the time I was really geeky, nerdy, shrimp kid, and I pretty much did anything and everything he did. And then we got into the choir, and then he was doing some plays and I was doing some plays. I did some plays, and I absolutely loved that. I was like, oh, wow, this is great. I'm getting to be up here, do all this fun stuff. And I think I needed the attention at the time too. So that helped to do that. I was excited for that. So I think that's kind of where it really happened in junior high.
Yeah.
Got excited for that stuff.
And then looking at your future from that point, you almost went to the veterinarian route. What shifted you from that route?
I think at a certain age, I realized if I were a vet, I would have to euthanize animals and dogs. And, fast forward 20 years, now I'm making a movie about No Dogs Die, which is where we have a serial killer who kills people who hurt dogs or want to hurt dogs or are bad dogs.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, okay. Now how turntables have turned.
Full circle. So then going on in your young career, you ended up with a scholarship to go study in China. You're working on economics and business. This doesn't sound like a man who's interested in the arts. So when did you want to make that change over to the arts again? And what was that experience like? Is there anything you pulled from that you use today?
Absolutely. So I actually made the dramatic change from the arts to economics and business. Because I was getting a lot of pressure from, family and stuff like that. Oh, do something real. You need to learn business. But also, when I was in the arts program at my school, the teachers were just really not big fans of me. Well, one in particular. And I was warned about her by advisors. They're like, listen, she really hates men, especially straight white men. She's like,
Yeah.
we don't like, and I was like, no, that's impossible. Like, I love everybody. I care about everybody. I love acting. This is my life. It's what I want to be. And
Yeah.
then, first day in class, she's already like, you need to get. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, no, no. I was like, I love this. These are my friends. And
Yeah.
and then she was going to actively fail me in the class. And I
Mm.
was like, you know what? Okay, I get it. I see that there is no road here for that. And it doesn't matter. So I was like, I'll do something useful because I was looking at other actors at the time, particularly Denzel Washington, who he has a business degree. He went into the business.
Yeah.
And from there, I was just like, well, I'll learn business, I'll learn law and policy, and I wanted to learn travel, become a diplomat. And I was like, and then when later on, I will go into that and learn business and business of acting and business of film. And now I am, in the business of film and
Yeah.
TV and as an actor. And as an actor, I
And a
think
producer too.
the most important and producer and the most important thing as an actor is, yeah, well, it is incredibly important to have talent and skill and the ability. But one of the more important things I've found is a business acumen because it is a business. I am, a business, a 1099 worker, self employed, as they say.
Yeah.
And so being able to market oneself, know and understand business strategy is incredibly important to become truly successful in the long run, I believe, and from what I've been seeing in other successful actors.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're over there in China, you're working on this, and eventually at some point you go to modeling. How did that come about?
Um, well, I was in China, I was studying in China, and then when I had come back, a friend of mine from high school had actually said, "Hey, Chris, I'm doing a fashion show. It is to support lemurs in Madagascar. I want you to come and audition for this. Like, I would love for you to
Yeah.
do this because you're coming back. I think that's cool." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I've got nothing better to do. Sounds like fun. Get on stage or whatever, do that." So I did that and I got it. And not only did I book it, but she made me had me be the lead male model for this. We got a ton of professional photos to promote the show that we were doing, as well as we got on TV, like the talk shows and other things on a local
Hmm.
scale in Omaha. And then the show was actually at the zoo, the Henry Dorley Zoo in Omaha, which is surprisingly one of the biggest and best zoos in the world, interestingly enough. And
Yeah.
so it's like from there, and it just kind of reignited that spark after years
Yeah.
of traveling abroad. I was like, wow, I missed this. Like, this was fun. Yeah, I'll just do this as like a little fun hobby on the side. And then one thing led to another.
Yeah.
The modeling went to acting and getting involved because it goes very much hand in hand. And it was a blast.
Yeah.
We had
That side
fun. It
hobby
was
is
a
now
good
your
time.
full career. That's incredible.
And it's a full time.
You've got
And
a lot
here
of.
I am. Now I'm here, went from modeling to hanging out with Frank on Geek Freaks. It's great.
There we go. You've got a lot going on right now. And we were just talking about your IMDb. It's as thick as hell. But right now, one of the big things is Nova, which was a short and now is going to become a feature that's currently in production. What's the story behind Nova? Let's kind of get introduced to this project a little bit.
So Nova, do you want to know the story of Nova or this behind the scenes story?
Give me the elevator pitch of Nova and then how you decided to go from
Sure.
short to feature.
Sure. Nova, I would say, is a science fiction romance.
Mm-hmm.
So it is how to bridge love across time and space. A man goes off to study an anomaly in space from in the 60s, and he crash lands in modern day. And his goal is to try to get back to his family that he loves, who are still in the 60s or their 60s. I mean, they're maybe a little bit in current day, but
Yeah.
he's not who he left 60 years ago, 70 years ago. So it's how to bridge that love and that gap between time and space.
Hmm.
To put the very simple way to do that.
Yeah. To get
I
people
guess
wanting to
it's a
watch it.
simple pitch.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we really decided was we found so I got on board with an amazing actress, Natalie Veeder, who is also I'm starring with in Boardwalk Winter. Natalie brought me on board to the short film project Nova because I was reading for her with her on the auditions, and the director said, "Hey, who was that guy reading with you? I hope it's not like a brother or cousin, because it could get weird if I have him audition for your love interest in this
Yeah.
role." And so they had me audition, and they're like, "Yeah, you two are absolutely it." So we went into production, we made it, and the team was absolutely amazing. We took this to festivals, and the
Yes.
primary festival we did, the Orlando Independent Festival, it took home Best Picture, Best Editing, Best Director. Natalie won Best Actress. It was the best sound, best makeup. I got nominated for the Best Actor, but I lost to another guy who played a guy with Tourette's. And I was like, no. He played the guy with Tourette's. He did really good. Like he
Yeah.
did great. I'm not down. I get it. I'm just a dude in space,
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
did absolutely amazing. It was getting praise all over, and we just decided, like, hey, you guys, we'd be crazy to not make this into something bigger and more, a bigger passion project on a feature scale. And so now we are looking to get into production either late this year or early next year. But we're really excited.
For Nova, you're working in front and behind the camera, correct?
Absolutely. So once again, there comes that business acumen of essentially just connecting a few dots, using some connections to bring this to help get this funded and to help get this into life. So once we get started on a solid, once we fill up the cast and fill up the script entirely, then we'll begin to take it to the right places that it belongs. And once we finish this, we plan to take this as far as we possibly can. And we're really excited. Everybody's pretty excited to get on board with this so far. Can't say who all the cast is yet, but
no spoilers.
We're getting there. No spoilers just yet. We can't officially announce any just yet, but we'll get there.
There's so many struggles and challenges with creating a short film. And what new challenges are particularly difficult for you guys right now going into that feature role?
Oh, absolutely. A short is one thing, but a feature is an entirely new and different monster.
Yeah.
People have a tough time getting short together, raising money for shorts. They have a tough time getting cast for shorts and paying crew, because shorts are essentially either, a collaborative or passion project, or considered like a concept for a much larger project to be done later. Short films, we shot our short film for 2.5 days, and it was great. It was a wonderful collaborative effort for everybody on board. I think everybody had a fun time, which is also important. But it's at the same time very stressful to try and put something like that together, even for 2.5 days, for 3 days. Now multiply that stress of a short film times, we say 3 days, multiply that times 10. Now we've got 30 days of logistics of hundreds of people to come on board, from cast to crew, as well as the entire post process, which is a very long process. The editing is, will take 3 months roughly just to get a pretty solid cut, and then another 3 to 6 months of getting all of the, everything else, all the fine tuning, everything in store, ready for theaters, ready for festivals, ready for distribution. It's a long process, but the nice thing about a short is you can film it. You edit 10 minutes of the short, 10 to 15 minutes of the short, and you can just boom, put it out there on YouTube or Vimeo, or release it in smaller festivals, and it's much easier. Features are just big scale shorts.
Right. Expenses, time, and a whole lot more people. You now being more involved with the post production, as on the producer side, has that affected your performance as an actor? Are you trying to maybe make the job easier for the editors or something like that?
I don't care about making the job easier for editors.
They get paid.
Just kidding, Nate and editors. I love you guys. You're the best.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the things that I love about being involved, like in the process from front to the back, from all sorts of the process, you understand a lot more of what it takes for it. And when it comes to editing, of course, you have to really consider a lot of things for the edit. For example, timing of your speech or just how things go. Sometimes, people who are newer or from theater, know that his camera might mess up on something, and then they're like, "Oh no, now we have to redo everything and do." No, say, "Oh, I flurb in my line. Oh, flurb my line." Now, after knowing the real process, I just redoing the line. Okay, it's just that easy. It's just stay in the moment, and because as now in editing, you have to, you can just be like, "Oh, well, just cut. All right, that's out." You just do a quick shot to the other person, and no, the audience is none the wiser.
Oh, the editors love you.
I don't know. Because there's also going to be a whole lot of weird stuff of me, like, so I try to, with the clapper, I don't know,
The clapper,
the slate, the clapper. I'm always messing around with that when they're doing it. So they'll do like, all right, and they're like, and here, scene 4, volume B, okay, and I'll just put my eyes in there, like, so whoever's editing is just like, what the heck is this guy doing?
Well, frankly, like I still think of like the old school editors where it's like some smoky room, all dark, some guy that's like 12 hours on a project and he needs a laugh. So you're helping him out, That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I try. I mean, it's still pretty much the same thing, just digital now. And less smoke, probably.
Probably a little bit less. Yeah. Now, you're a finance guy back in the day, and now you're a producer. Can you kind of touch in a little bit on that? Those old studying of economics, stuff like that. How are you implementing that into producing?
Sure. Well, luckily, as an economist, I learned to become a pretty good investor back in the day.
Yeah.
And that was like through stocks or other different things, and then run business. And I was lucky to have a lot of success in stock and in crypto as well. I am a crypto bro. Sorry for those of home. But with that, a lot of those profits and things that I would take from there, I could then learn to start investing in like my own projects, my own short films. And then from there, investing in the larger films that have actual expected returns. So it's possible in indie films, especially to invest in indie films with some sort of expected return. After being in it for a long time, there's a whole lot to learn. It's a whole different beast of indie film investing, and it's very risky. I tell people, don't do it unless you know what you're doing. If anybody at home wants to know, please feel free to hit me up. I'm happy to do like Q&As about investing. But even that investing got me more involved on the development side, the editing side, the producing side, the distribution side, and getting involved in every aspect. Because now it's like, when I say it's my project, as you can say that as an actor, but now some of these projects are like, this is my project. Like it's actual, I'm putting this together here and there and connecting all these pieces. We're making all these things happen. It is not easy. It's stressful. I do not like to produce. Because I like to sit back and be treated like real nice, like the actor. Like, oh, where's my trailer? Can I have? Oh, I don't see the only blue M&Ms here. I just wanted my only blue M&Ms.
Yeah, the green room diva.
Exactly, that's me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a journey. I'll tell you.
Yeah. As an actor, you've done comedy, drama, action, sci-fi, even horror. What genre is that sweet spot for you?
Ooh, I love doing a lot of action stuff because I love being involved in that. But I feel like comedy is kind of where I'm at because, as you can tell already from around here, I'm like an ADD dude who's like, and I did Second City in the past, and being on stage. The fun thing about being on stage is you get to be really big and like fun and be like goop and be big characters. And with comedy, that's kind of where it's at, and you can do that a lot more on screen. You can be bigger in comedy on camera, but on camera in more things like dramatic roles or action, dramatic roles particularly, and horror. It's important to be small. be smaller on camera.
Okay.
So that for me as an actor is really tough because as you can see, once again, I'm the ADD guy moving all. You have to imagine. So Leonardo DiCaprio is the king of this. If you want to imagine this, a lot of where his power comes in is when that frame is right here.
Okay.
When the frame is right there and it's that intense music, and really you have a mic right here, so you can just whisper. All you have to do is whisper and be very intense. You don't blink, you don't move your head, because if you move your head, now you're even a little, you're out of shot.
Frame. Yeah.
And out of frame. Once again, we're learning editing and framing and things like that comes in handy. So for me, that's really tough. And it's really tough because you want to emote. If it's a big emotional scene, but your close-up is right here, you have to make it really soft and quiet and intense, not blinking, not moving. But in reality, if it's like a big demand, you're like, what is going on? What's happening?
Right.
That's how you would really be. So there's a lot of that difference. So
you got to kind of do like the Oscar bait moments. You're trying to constantly shoot for those Oscar bait moments where it's like, oh, this is the part they showed at the Oscars. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Entirely. So you get a chance now that you like kind of think about that next time you watch a Leo movie. You're like, oh my God, he didn't blink at all.
Immediately I go to Inception. There's so many times where he's just like thinking about his wife, whatever. I'm like, now I'm totally there. Okay. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. With the action
people
movies
at home, now you won't be able to watch a Leo movie ever again. Same after that. Now you're like, blank.
Now we're too focused on that work. I haven't paid attention to the story. So you work on your own stunts in the past. What's the craziest stunt you've pulled off in the past? Something dangerous.
Ooh. I think I did something fun in Mojave Diamonds where I jumped out of a moving car and rolled while we were doing a car chase out in the desert. That was like one of my most favorite days of all time on set.
That's so cool. How do you practice for that?
Oh, I just did a lot of weird stuff as a kid, bro. That's about all. I did a lot of things that I shouldn't admit.
A lifetime of being a nightmare for your parents will make you qualified for jumping out of a car. That's good stuff.
They don't even know. I grew up at a time without cell phones, pre-cell phone, Yeah. So we were always doing stuff. Like I used to jump out of trees and other moving vehicles, or like jump off of bikes and just do crazy stunts as a kid. And then you just kind of take that into doing that. And then the film stunts is like a lot of things are done in camera. So much safer than what I'm used to. So I'm like, this is great. This is so easy. Like, oh, this is super.
Let's put a pad here. And Chris is over there like, dirt looks soft. I'm fine.
What do you need a pad for? That's great. Yeah. We get pads? You guys are getting paid? You guys are getting pads?
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Rejection is constant in this business. There's no way around it. How do you stay grounded and positive? Because looking at your IMDb, it's not like you ever take a break. How do you keep pushing along?
Because I'm broke.
It's a job. You got to do what you got to do.
It's the job. It's, know, people think that, that acting, that being in the movies, being in the TV, or for me, especially commercials is where a lot of my bread and butter is. They think that is the job, but truly the job is auditioning. The true job is auditioning, and you have to constantly audition, because the second you're done with a movie, the second you're done with a TV show, you are now unemployed. You are unemployed, but the thing is, you have to constantly be auditioning. And as an actor, my goal is to get to a point where I never have to audition again.
Is that starting to come along for you now, or are you starting to see your little release?
Things are starting to happen. I'm really fortunate and excited for that. For example, I have a film coming up called Hack Job that we're going to be filming, I believe, in October. It's going to be directed by a good friend and colleague of mine, Luca Petruno. So we actually did a movie together called Vindicator, and we're just now about to distribute that. So that's another one to look out for.
There we go.
So luckily, it's not that I'm a recognized actor, but after you work so long and many times, and you've worked with directors multiple times, and they know you so well. They're like, oh, I know exactly like what Chris can do. I know exactly Chris's range. I know exactly the characters for Chris. Or, for example, for me, I was very, very fortunate that in Mojave Diamonds, I knew the writer, and the writer had seen my acting in Blowback. They'd seen my acting in Project Legion. And he
Yeah.
was like, hey, I've got to write a script right now, and I'm writing a role for you. Like this role isn't being written for like a random character. This is going to be you. It's you.
Yeah.
You're the character. You're the guy. And that was one of the best feelings in the world, to get that, to be like, I'm writing a character for you. And then we go into production like 2 months later. I was like, that's amazing. That's the best.
In this
The best thing.
industry, it's nice to have a paycheck you know is coming. That's incredible.
Yeah. Paychecks are nice. We love paychecks here. Yeah.
Big fans of those. Are auditions paid for? Because I know that like Dropout TV right now has been doing that. That's not an industry norm, right?
No auditions are paid for, because it's essentially an interview for a job. Do you get paid
Okay.
to interview for a job?
Right.
However, I will say along the lines of that, on union auditions, if you go into a third, fourth, or fifth, or so on audition or round of callbacks, where they're like, okay, we want you here, we need you in here, they will start to pay for those auditions.
Yeah.
And they'll either pay for audition time, and if they really are interested in seeing you, they'll fly you to wherever and say, we need to do an in-person reading or on-camera test. So I've had those. I have had those before, which I've signed NDAs for, and I can't talk about.
Yeah.
But we did, like, I was for some what was called screen tests. It was essentially like super advanced round of casting, where I was flown out to LA. I was put up for the night before in a nice place. The next day, they had on set pretty much in what would be a normal outfit, but it was just me on the set. Just like, all right, we just want to do on camera test sort of deal and see what you could do, and rather than just filming at home, so we know how it works. So you look here, and et cetera. And they paid for all of it. They paid for everything, just like a normal rate, as if you were almost day of filming. And then they're like, okay, cool, great. Well, this doesn't even shoot until, next year, a year later. But right now we're trying to get all of our people lined up and cared for. And then, so that's one of those that I was like, if I get that, that's a nice hefty paycheck. But even then, if I didn't, I'm still like, all right, well, I still got paid to go out there and audition and just do the thing and show what we're capable of.
Is something like that, because going to the screen test is so high. It feels like it's pretty high up in the echelon of the process. And it sounds like this project is a pretty substantial project. Even if you don't get the role, does that still improve sort of your resume? Like, I've done screen tests kind of thing.
No, because it's not something that you can really put on
Advertise.
because you can be like, I auditioned. For example, I have not auditioned for Marvel, but you're like, I auditioned for Marvel. They're like, cool, but did you get it? No. Oh, well, then.
I was going to say building is Kevin Feige, though.
Well, congrats on putting your failure on your resume there.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
You would think, though, it's like, well, you could keep your cool in a stressful situation. Like, that seems like something that'd be kind of valuable to them if they're looking for a fresh actor. But yeah, it's a tough business.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it, Frank. Tell me about it.
So let's do that cheesy thing that all podcasters do. Is there any advice that you'd give to a new actor?
To a brand new actor, speaking of TikTok lives, hello, my friends on live. I'm always talking about this. So as a brand new actor, the very first and foremost thing you absolutely need as an actor is a very good, high quality professional acting headshot. That's just a picture of you here, just your face, right? Just your face, maybe a little bit of the shoulders, but just your face. Don't over makeup, don't over edit. High quality lighting in the front. Get one moody for the acting, and then one smiling for commercials. Okay. Those are the two headshots that you absolutely need to get anywhere, because your entire resume is right here. This is your real resume. After that, then take acting classes. I don't care how much you feel like you're an amazing actor. I don't care how long you've worked. All working actors, the second they're not working, the second they get time, everybody is eager to go to classes. Classes will take you from here to there, but not only are classes fun, classes are educational. They network. You get to network. You get to meet a lot of people who are in the same category as you, who are working hard to also toward these games, and you learn a lot. You can learn a lot about the industry, and that's who you want to be. For example, when I was in Second City, and taking the improv classes. And one of the classes, I became friends with an actor named Harry Belden. Harry Belden and he was super cool. I was doing some sketch shows for Second City at the time, and we needed another person. I was like, I know exactly who to bring in. I brought in this guy from class. They're like, I don't know who he is. I don't know. Can he do well? I'm like, no, trust me. This guy's great. He's awesome. He's hilarious. He's got an awesome look. Give him a shot. And they did. And they're like, great. Yeah, totally. Well, Chris says you did well, or can do well. So he does. And then Harry Belden, you're welcome to look him up now, but he is now the new voice of Morty in Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you meet people who are on that path and doing it, and he's still cool. He just got married. So if you're watching, congratulations on getting married. And so that's one of the examples of people you go to class with, in Second City. And same with the classes when I was taking classes in Miami. I was taking little backroom class type things, or at some of the casting directors. And I would be in there with classes with people who had millions of followers on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. They had their own shows, or people become friends and network with people who are on Disney. They're on, Nickelodeon, or they're getting in these movies big left and right, that you would never meet these people outside of these classes unless you're on set, and you're there at a common cost. So
yeah.
Take classes. That's the biggest thing as an actor. Take classes and continue to learn.
Side fun thing. Shout out to Harry on my end too, because by far the most popular thing, most viral thing I've ever done was showcasing his new voice work for Rick and Morty. It blew up.
Really?
My most viral video is actually of Harry. So that was pretty cool. Like, oh yeah, I know him.
Get him on the show.
That would probably be very smart for me. Actually, I probably should reach out to him. That's a good idea. Yeah, that blew up.
Yeah, I'll hit him up for you. I'll be like, yo, dude,
that'd be cool.
I was on a podcast.
Yeah.
Hop on. We talked. I'll be like, we were talking about you. We were talking about you.
Force him to listen. Was it talking shit or not? Yeah, make sure you make him listen.
Fucking smack.
So again, you got a very busy slate. What are some of the upcoming projects that you have that you want people to start looking up and looking forward to?
I guess the closest projects that will be coming out would be Vindicator. We definitely want you to take a look at that. I'm not sure for a release date, but right now you can pre-order Boardwalk Winter.
Yep.
It comes out officially August 5th. So you can pre-order the DVD, have it sent right to your house. It's a romantic comedy about a girl who's dying and she wants to fulfill a bucket list. We don't focus too much on the death part, more about the
bucket list,
making light of things.
Yeah.
And have a good time. So it's starring myself, Natalie Veeder, and Veron. Oh, what was her name? I just forgot her name from Saturday Night Live.
Oh man,
Miss Jackson. Are you on IMDb right there?
I am.
Not Veronica. It's something Victoria Jackson. Sorry. So it's Victoria Jackson, Natalie Veeder, and myself.
Yeah.
In
Victoria Jackson
Winter.
playing Mrs. Kellogg. That seems cool.
Miss Kellogg, she's hilarious in it.
Yeah.
We drop a whole lot of one-liners and a whole bunch of stupid fun comedy. It's a good little rom-com.
Yeah.
Bit of a sadness to it, but not too bad.
Yeah, and that'll be out 2 weeks after this episode's out now. So make sure you guys are following the links in the description to follow up on that.
Perfect timing.
Yeah,
and I can send you a link to that so you know where to go and
perfect.
Share it with your friends if that's cool.
Yeah, of course. Well, Chris, I really appreciate you coming on here and telling us everything that you got going on. It's been really great talking to you, man. I appreciate it.
Hey man, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun.
That was Chris Maher again. Links in the description if you guys want to check out his latest projects. The guy's constantly working on things. He was just on some soap operas. I mean, never stops working. Pretty amazing. Let's go over some network news. So over on Challenge Accepted, we got The Mummy that just came out, and then we're going to be covering the Fantastic Four this week. A new episode recording on Thursday night, hopefully released on Thursday night too. We'll see how late I can stay up and edit. Who's Got Next Game podcast is back after a new baby. So we have the Switch tournament, not Switch 2 tournament. I wrote that wrong. It's the Switch tournament. They're going over the most competitive games on Switch and seeing what pulls out ahead. Over on This Is Nerding, they're covering the Superman movie and some other DC rumors that are going around the rumor mill. Phantom Portal, Aaron sits down with Jeffrey Reddick, the creator of Final Destination, to talk about what was the inspiration for Final Destination and how he got started. It was fantastic hearing about how he used horror as a way to cope with some of the traumas in his life. It was a great conversation. Again, Phantom Portals. Anime Plus is back from their break. They're talking about Black Clover Season 2 and Boston Anime Expo 2025. It was their very first convention. It was cool to hear about them coming back from that and just how hyped they were. All right. Recommendations for the week, Squeaks. What do you got for me?
Yeah, so, man, it's kind of a weird restart for me, and I'm really falling in love with it, but I'm giving Sandman another chance.
Yeah.
And I texted you about it earlier. So, not that I'm just giving it a chance. I'm reading the original comic, right? Going through all that. Listening to the Audible, great fucking Audible. On,
it's the best. It's one of the best.
With the cast is wild.
Yeah. James McAvoy.
And then also
crazy.
Daddy. Is also shit, what's the third thing? Oh yeah, because season 2 is coming out, right? So I started that up. Or season 2 is out, but part 2 is coming out soon.
Correct.
If I remember right. Yeah. So check out Sandman if you haven't seen that before. I know it's kind of like I don't want to say hidden, but DC's doing their big stuff, and this is the DC part of the DC universe, and nothing's better than literally one still in the comic was Green Lantern holding I don't want to say a fugitive or whatever with Batman in front of that guy, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm in this universe, baby.
Yeah,
still, even though it's super dark, but I love it. Yeah. What about you, man?
So I got two things for you. So first off, we had the Steam sale. It was solid, but now we have Xbox has got a sale going on for the rest of the month. So we got 9 days as we're recording this. And I would argue that it might be a better sale than Steam's even doing. So if you guys want to fill out your Xbox library, excellent chance to do that. Check that out. And then comic wise, I mentioned it earlier. I'm reading Supergirl. Boy, I wrote that wrong in my notes. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and it fully feels like Millie Alcock's Supergirl. So if you want to get that, I'm kind of going through those big trades, reading through those. Next up is going to be the Fantastic Four run with Hickman from '98. So I'm reading Supergirl right now, and guys, it's a fun space romp. It's dark. You're learning about why Supergirl feels like she needs to kind of drink away her 21st birthday. It's great. Check that out, guys. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us here on Geek Freaks, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.